All right, I'm recording
Look,
now.
something I want to address real quick while we're in limbo is like, I know it's like annoying and irritating to have to like do all this boring stuff with like talking about the things that we need to do and like when really we just want to play the game. But like something we went over before that one of the people within the team previously didn't agree with is like, which eventually he came around and ended up following through with it anyway. But um, like you have to do the boring stuff and like develop the boring stuff to like specialize that skill in order to grow into a professional level.
Like,
That's all I want to say.
yeah. Kind of just a small piggyback off of that. It's just that like when it comes to gameplay, like the fun things become more fun when you do the boring things by yourselves. Like I think we can all agree, like for example, like for a lot of NBA players, playing basketball on the highest level in a big stadium is really fun for some of the NBA players. They really love it. They love it. That's the reason why they do it every day, right? But it's not until they do those boring training drills and making sure that their handles are on point that they can do that, right? That's what we need to do. We have to do this boring shit. We have to. It's like not even like a question. This is like a fundamental part of trying to become pro. And if we don't want to make that step, I mean, that's
a
not
different story.
yeah, it's a different story.
That's not where we're at.
Yeah, as a team. So yeah. So one thing I want to talk about, what I'm kind of showing my screen for, which I hope everyone is watching. No one is watching. Why is no one watching? I will IP leak you guys.
I'm watching it, man.
I have every single person's IP here. I swear to God, I will leak it now. No, I'm joking. I will not.
I'm watching it right now.
I'm not threatening you guys.
Common sense. I think you have an IP out of Bangladesh.
Why are people laughing?
You have an IP out of Bangladesh, bro.
Yeah. All right. Why are people laughing? That's not funny. This guy's not
My bad, bro. My bad.
It's not.
Common sense. Go ahead and explain to me what a secure tunnel is.
Stop. I know what a secure tunnel is. All right. Don't rabbit hole. You're rabbit holing me. You're rabbit holing me. Anyways, I'm gonna obfuscate from that. And yeah. So what I'm kind of showing you guys right now is well, there's two screens, and I'm gonna kind of put this on the side, but this is kind of what I was talking about, what I was wanting us to implement, right? A game plan, a de facto from start to finish of the whole game of what can happen, what situations we would do versus if we're winning or if we're losing, right? And then also defining some definitions to be able to have definitions in place of like what we want for that, or what do we deem as that type of thing, which I might put tempo in a different. I think I should put tempo somewhere else.
Let me actually, definitely should be, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. But all right, so I'll just do definitions. Yeah. So yeah, I want us to have a easier time playing the game, especially in a scrim, because like I think you guys have seen it. Y'all guys have actually been in the games and y'all felt the feeling. There's a lot of times where you might feel like, okay, what exactly am I supposed to do right now? Or like, okay, we just got this and I don't see everyone positioning for this. Like, why the fuck is why doesn't everyone not know what to do right now? There's a lot of times where a lot of confusion happens. And it's particularly because one, we don't have a set game plan of what we're going to do as a team. And two, we don't articulate that in this form of like, whose vision are we going to be leading from? I think one thing that we don't know, like that it might seem trivial, but it's actually like a really like, if you think about it, I think you might think like, oh yeah, I don't even consider that. When you play a game of Deadlock, when you play of a MOBA, at least, it is supposed in a high level, I should say, in a professional league, it is off of the philosophy of one person and one person alone. What I mean by that is this. Yeah. What I mean by that is this. When you're playing the game of a MOBA or any type of team-based sport, the philosophy of the leader is supposed to be the philosophy of the entire team. That allows it to where synergy and proper gameplay happens super effortlessly and almost with little to no comms, to where it's not as cluttered, I guess the best word I can think of right now, in the game. So what me and Hasham have been thinking and what we're trying to implement right now is we're trying to come up with a game plan for the scope of the game that we can be able to not fully, it won't cover every single aspect, but we want to cover up as many holes as possible, especially the obvious ones that we make the mistake of doing, right? So that's what we're gonna kind of try to do with this. And I would like it to where we could spend some time, just a little bit today, not too much, where we kind of just go over some of the aspects of the game that we might be able to kind of give our impressions of like what we need to do to kind of get that knocked out. Now, I think that the most important thing that we have, the most important part of the game is the earn. Uh, like I think it's almost on top of laning for me. Maybe almost a little bit below, but I think it's a little bit, I don't know. I feel like obviously laning plays into the part with earn, but I just think that they're really close as far as like, even if you're losing, if you can get earn that's like really big, like crazy huge. But yeah, so if we could, I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna hide this over here, and I want us to kind of just like talk about how we're gonna play the game throughout the entire process, and then like kind of I'll showcase like my thought process of what it is, and then if you guys feel like, hey, I really wouldn't do it like that or something like that, you can kind of interrupt me, give your take on it, kind of but this is what I'm thinking, right? Obviously, we're gonna have strong side, left side, right? And we're gonna start with the 2-2-2, obviously. And we would obviously, I would want one of our guys to keep track of timings of tier 1s, tier 2s, and saves, and then maybe tier 3s, but they're not really that important. It's just tier 1, tier 2s, and saves. But then at 9 minutes, right? Which I think I can add text actually. I should have texted
Saves
this
are
out.
tier 3s, by the way. It's the same time.
Oh yeah, good call out right there, Hisham, or Shadowvis, yeah. So like
What
at
happened?
9 minutes, no, I was talking to Shadowvis what he said. At
didn't hear what he
9
said.
minutes, I want us to start. He was talking. You have it recorded, so we can look back at it later. But at 9 minutes, I want us to begin our rotations for earn and buffs. I think that this is like a good time to really start. I think any time, like the moment that it hits 9, everyone's thought, I need at least one person to call it out, like, hey, like earn, like we need to get ready for this. We need to get ready for earn, buff, something. And everyone's thought after that needs to be to drop every single thing that's on their plate, besides waves, and start getting ready for rotations for earn. And the way that I'm thinking about it, so I'm gonna put 9 minutes. We go for earn rotation. And I want us to go into this type of split. I want us to go into a 3-1-2 split. Now, what that means and what this is for buffs and boxes and earn. Now, the way that's going to go is I want my heavy hitters, all of my heavy fighters, to be on the 3. We're going to be trying to get buffs. Buffs at 10 minutes immediately, because we all know that buffs spawn before earn drops. So we go for buffs first. That is first and foremost. If we can take control of buffs, we can probably take control of earn as well, right? It's a simple notion. So, and keep in mind, this is kind of my idea of it. I think Hisham might have a little bit of a different. Well, we agreed on this one, but like I might get into veer in some territory where me and Hisham might disagree. So, Hisham, if you want to chime in, just let me know. But
Yeah.
Once we get this buff, the moment we get this buff, we immediately rotate to earn as these 3 guys. This one person here, the reason why it's one person is to play for boxes underneath. Whoever can play for boxes the quickest and easiest should be playing for boxes. Usually it's somebody that already is in the mid lane, probably. Like maybe Calico, Yamato, something like that. One of our frontliners to play for that. The moment they finish boxes, they rotate left side. Our 2 goes for buff if they can, but it's more of a regression. You're just playing just to be able to poke and prod and see if you can get the buff and steal it and then run away. You're not playing for the fight. You're playing just to obtain and to help kite. Once you get your buff, or once the buff is taken, we have one person rotate green side, the other person rotate blue side. We're going to do a 4-1-1 split after. So that's at 9 minute earn rotation. We do a 3. Oh, sorry. I'll just type this out to make it easier to write. 3-1-2. We're doing a 3-1-2 split. Once we hit earn rotation, well, let me get this. Let me drag this up here. Once we hit 10-10, so that's at 10 minutes, which actually I can just type that down.
Are we assuming the earn's on the green side here?
No. It's assuming
No,
yellow.
it's on yellow side.
It's just the map is bugged, but we know that it's already left side. Like every
Yeah,
time on, yeah.
And PNG is crazy, anyways.
Yeah, I couldn't find a one that doesn't have this issue, which is fucking annoying. But whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. So 10 minutes we do a 3-1-2, and then at 10-10, which that's why we need to be quick. We're going to do a 4-1-1. Like I said, that one person from blue goes to yellow. 2 people from the right side go, one go green, one go blue to maintain waves. This is assuming that we're winning. This is all under the guise, which I'll write this right here as well.
We won 2 out of 3 of our lanes.
Yeah. Winning lanes. This is all assuming that we're winning lanes. Now, once that happens, once we hit our 4, do I have an eraser? Can I expand this eraser at all? Let me see. Is it not gonna? Okay, yeah, I can. Oh wait, that deletes my fucking map too. All right, that's troll. Whatever. So, moving on. After 10, once 10-10 hits, we hit a 4-1-1. The idea is to play for earn. Obviously, we know this. Weak side map player immediately goes back to rotate off once the earn is. This is in. We're assuming an ideal situation right now, so this is all under the ideal guys. In an ideal world, weak side on right side rotates back to go yellow. All 4 rotate together. This is my thought processes. However, I also can understand if we want to do the one person on the right side stay up and play at a more aggressive angle with this one, go rotating over with them, and then one person staying down here, rotating from the 4, and then 2 people coming from the 4 to go to earn, right? How do we feel about that? Which one would we much rather prefer in an ideal situation?
The second one makes more sense in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that too, because it makes it to where we can already start positioning too. I was just thinking about that off the cuff. That's a good idea. So yeah, we'll do it to where probably our, since we have a 4-1-1, and we're probably going to have it to where in the 4-1-1, we're probably going to have it to where the 2 1s are going to be the people that we want to carry, right? I'll probably make it to where in the 4, I'll probably have like my the only 2 people that rotate over will be my support, and then also my which I'll write this down. Can we write this down too as well? I need to write this down. So I'll type this down in the other. I have the notes right here. I'm trolling. Let me write this down real quick just to kind of have this. When rotating, one frontliner. I assume we're gonna have our frontliners and our hypercarries over here. So, because what's our idea?
You're gonna try and take the urn without a frontliner?
Well, that's the thing, is that our frontliners, because like we already have 2 carries over here on this side, like are on the blue and on green. I would want our frontliners from blue and green to then start pushing up over here to start playing on the right side to be able to posture for the earn, right? And then I would have like one of my support player, and then I don't know, maybe another frontliner, but I need one person to stay dropped here. And so we'll have
understanding. Wait.
Yep.
Are you going to put a frontliner when the urn is spawned? Like, is there going to be a frontliner there, or is the frontliner in mid?
Yes. It's going to be. I mean, assuming our ideal comp, if we assume like with idealism, we're going to have
2 frontliners, right? A carry, like a support, a flex, and a shader.
Wouldn't we just have 3 frontliners then if we could do a carry? Because I would check like a Shiv or like a Yamato or something. So technically like 3 frontliners. Or am I wrong?
Can I bring up like one side point right here?
Yeah.
I feel like we always start our carries on right, and this is something I was talking to Doss about as well. Is like I don't think it's a bad idea to start our supports on like the right side where Urn doesn't spawn. But the issue becomes is like if we're leaving that guy solo, he won't be able to defend the walker by himself or the guardian by himself if he gets pushed.
Yeah, so he needs to be with the rotating party.
So then the issue is you have a support playing solo right, and I'm not going to be able to hold that because I should be low souls than everybody else, and I'm getting a solo wave.
I think I'll let you go. What I was going to say is that, and this is kind of critically important, this is all under the guise that we're winning.
Rotation comes in.
This is all under the guys that were winning. And if my hyper carry should be the most farmed right here in the winning situation. Not the most farmed, but my hyper carry should be pretty farmed right here in this situation. In the ideal situation, and I don't want to say it too much because obviously I know that we aren't the ideal team at the present, right? We definitely need to have a lot of improvements to do. But like my hyper carry should be trying to take as much farm if we're winning as possible to where he's as farmed enough to where if 2 people come over here, I would assume people would come on the lane. I would assume like at least 2 or 3 would come on left side to try to at least contest earn. Maybe just 2. They might give it up. But if 2 people are over here, or let's say like 3 people come over here, right? Then I would want my hyper carry to what should happen is my hyper carry should try to stall as long as possible, and my 1 from blue should be rotating over immediately. And then maybe 1 person from yellow can hit the TP, right? Like we should be able to and that's a good thing that you brought this up, Renewal, right? This is like those nuanced situations that we need to write down. So that way, I'm saying this right now, but are we gonna remember for the future?
I mean, also, I like here, assuming that we're winning the lane on this side, assuming we took tower, if they see 3 people on the left side and they're losing, they're not gonna play for earn probably. They're gonna play for this tower. So then again, it's just gonna be like a 2v1 here on either me or the carry player.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think if we started the carry and support on the left side here, it would make the game a lot easier. One, because on the right side right now, it's the church side, like the side that we're on. So the church side, like it's really easy to just do like poke damage on. Like if you're playing that as a carry, it's so easy for someone on the other team to literally walk up on you and shoot you in the side, and you pretty much can't counter it because early game like you're pretty weak. So I think like if you start off the carry and the support on left, yes, they're technically not going to get that like first solo wave, but if you put enough pressure, you're able to take that tower, you're able to let your carry player farm the farms on the left side, like towards their side of the map, and you're able to get earned because assuming that the carry player is the strongest, he's already sitting in that lane fighting.
That is true. One thing I will say about that is that if we talk about that instance, so let's say like let's go back and let's say like we have my hyper carry and my support, it's not going to be that much farm to take on their side, which isn't like, I'm not saying it's like I'm trying to argue against you. It's just something that the reason why we usually do have it on green side is so that way when y'all do win, if y'all do push up and win, obviously you're on weak side, so you don't have to, you can play for stalling, but you can also take all of this farm on their side, right? It's a lot more farm.
So here's the thing, right? Is if assuming that they want to start off their carry on the strong side, the only way that we can punish them for going into their farm is if we have a strong right side, which we effectively don't because we're putting our carry and our support there. Like that's going to be our weakest lane early on. And we're putting them in the lane with the least farm on our side and the most farm on the other team side. So we're not going to be able to properly punish it. Like here, if our carry wants to, he can take a lane, push it to their tower, go farm, and like take the camps off cooldown like before like we have to rotate for earn even like
That's
towards
true.
like 8 minutes, whatever.
That's true.
And he doesn't have to do a lot to actually get the camps. Also, I'm not like just like saying this out of my ass. Like this is what melee creeps does. Like they start to carry and support left side. And the reason why is because all the farm is over there. You get a free tier 1 camp on lane, so that's like a plus like what 200 souls maybe, probably less honestly. I don't know how much it is exactly. Maybe like 100. But still, it's you probably get it like 3 times in lane. That's plus 300 souls for your carry player. That's almost an item. Plus there's just more camps towards it.
Yeah, the only thing that we have to think about is that if we were on this is amber side. If we're on sapphire side, left side would be not earn, right? So they would the same thing would happen, but we wouldn't like we can have our support and hyper carry here, right? But we would like to get this farm, but they can't guarantee earn anymore now, right? So that is something that we would have to consider. But I'll let you go.
though.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying is like I don't feel like ideally there's going to be a situation where we're always going to be able to get 4 players. I think no matter what, because there's still so much pressure that they can put on like us no matter what side we start on. But just in general, I think starting our carry character towards the left side makes a lot more sense, and like it definitely does not help when we start them towards right, because I think every single time we've had issues with laning, it's because our carry character's on the right side and they hard lose lane, like generally speaking.
Okay.
I think that would help a lot for like laning.
Okay, so you kind of disagree with the 4-1-1 split. You think it would be better to kind of have more reinforcements on right side?
I don't. No. That's not what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
He's just
Oh,
talking about laning
Like
specifically and
raw
deciding lane
laning.
matchup. Yeah.
Mhm.
Raw laning. I think the easy lane. So like the left side in this case should always be like your carry and your support player because it allows a carry to get strong early on without having to do a lot.
Yeah.
If you put them on the right
Because
side,
it's 2-1.
they have to do a lot more. So then on your
Yeah.
right side, you would put whatever, like your other two characters that aren't like your initiator or your front line. Like generally, like let's say you have like a GT, you would put GT right lane, and if you had like a Haze, you would put Haze left lane.
Okay.
And that way, your right lane should win the lane, and they're able to pressure the other carry's jungle. That's
Yeah.
kind of like my thought process.
No, that's fine. I
So
agree.
you're saying start the carries over on the urn.
Yeah. Well, in this case, it would be starting them on the urn, but just in general, I think the carry should start on left side.
Yeah, you can
And
also just like again just teleport them. Just
Or is it
Yeah.
left side or is it yellow?
yellow.
Yellow is left
Yeah.
side.
Okay. Well, no, I'm saying
Right,
like on the other side. We're not saying like only left. We're
If
just
you're
saying
if
like
you're if you
whatever
are on if you are on
Carry should
like,
be on left side, but the
Oh.
urn's yellow.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
I
like
get what you
no
mean.
matter like what side you start, I think the carry should always be the left side of your lane. So like
Okay.
from this
Okay.
POV, you would start left side. Like if you're this team, if we flipped around the mini map, you would still start left side, where the camps are.
Yeah, so
Because,
left
yeah.
side regardless of your side of like your team. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I get
And
sorry, Cobbs.
So like I don't disagree with like the 4-1 rotation. Like I don't disagree with that at all. But I think the issue still arises where what if they just like push tower and like don't over rotate? Like I would argue like maybe sometimes we don't need 4 depending on, I mean obviously it's depending on the scenario I guess, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But just in general, I think that's something that we should start doing because I like even I notice it a lot. The right side is like much harder to play around, especially if you don't have like a very strong early game hyper carry, which I feel like is like most of them. So
Yeah, give me a second. I'm writing this down real quick. And there's gonna be a lot of these times, guys, where your guys are gonna say great points, and I'm gonna try to write them down in the game plan to be able to have that, just engraved in writing because like I don't want us to obviously record the videos, but like it's gonna be kind of hard to have everybody watch through the videos and stuff like that, and so I'd rather us like just have it jotted down somewhere too as well. So just give me a second. Hyper carry and left lane.
I already got it.
Okay, thank you, man. But yeah, so and I personally I agree with that. I think that's a great bring up, to have our hyper carries take on farm, just so that way they can be able to push lane, push wave, and take some extra farm on the side too. I think that if that's the case, then if we do a 4-1-1, if we were in, keep in mind all of these, like I want us to start with the ideal guys first, like the ideal situation before we go into like the more nuanced situations, because we can get bogged down into certain situations that make it to where we actually don't learn anything. We're just like, oh, what about this? Or what about this? And we kind of come up with like more extremities. I want us to kind of just get a solid game plan of like, what happens if we're guaranteeably winning, right? Because there's a lot of times where we're guaranteeably winning, but we don't play the right plays, right? So let's just get that out the way, and then we'll go for then we'll flip the sides, go for when we're losing. Then we'll start making the more nuanced, like gray area situations that kind of would kind of happen a little bit more.
Also,
Yo, what's up, Shadow?
Another thing is like when we're winning, like we almost like if we're like totally winning, like we should always be like hard, like especially if our mid and right lane is simultaneously won the lane, we should always be just hard looking in that farm. So we need to hard look at that farm. We can pressure the lanes. We even hard look at the right side farm, and it's like really OP. Like it's very hard for them to win.
Yeah. And I think this is kind of goes back to what we were saying, because like what I was going to get to that, like obviously we're talking about urns, we're talking about like 10 minutes in the game, but I am going, that's kind of like in my mid lane discussion, but let me go ahead, man, bro, I need to start right. I hope thank God I have Hisham here, bro, because like man, I am so slow at like I'm so busy doing this, like worrying about the map and stuff, and talking to you guys, that I just don't write shit down at times. Like it's actually troll. But moving on. So yeah,
just a recap real quick. I just want to make sure I understand this thoroughly.
I need a
9 minutes.
refresher on the rotations again, but keep going. Go ahead,
I got you.
So 9 minutes. We're gonna start setting up. We're gonna start setting up for Urn. Okay. And you went 3 on the left side. on the buff, specifically the buff, not the urn, specifically the buff.
Yes.
And one mid, ideally clearing boxes because that's when they spawn, obviously. And then you want 2 on the right buff.
Playing kind of just for like the thing is that what I was thinking at first is that we do a 3-3, right? Because the thing is, if you're winning in a winning situation, you want both buffs. So you want to disperse your resources evenly across the whole map entirely because you want the whole map. Now, obviously, Hasham brought up the fact of like boxes spawning in mid is like really helpful. It's like it's a great resource for us to kind of get some extra souls in. So I think 1-2 is just best. And then the 2 on the right side would just play for if they can steal or if no one goes for it. If we're going against like a kind of a novice team that doesn't really they aren't disciplined on their buff timers, we'll kind of take that first one so that way we can be able to just have an extra advantage. But we won't play for the aggressive kill. We'll just play for the steal or the obtain of it, and then we'll
after
rotate
we get the buff. After we get the buff, we want do we want to carry on green? Do we want ideally Mirage or something like that on green, or what do we want on green here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the 2 people that we want on the right side on the weak side.
Fine.
Well, the 2 for the buff. I'm sorry. Yeah. The 2 that we want for the buff is going to be like, ideally, we want a front line and also like maybe like a Mirage. Or when I say front line, I just mean like a carry. We want the 3 is going to have 1 support, 1 initiator, and then maybe a carry or a front line, and then obviously my 1's going to be a carry as well. Or because I'm assuming because we have 4 technical carries, right? We have 4 frontliners that can technically, I mean, not all of them could be carry, but it's like they can, they're frontliners, so they're kind of using interchangeably now. But yeah, so I would want.
Agreed that the frontliner was gonna be getting boxes mid, and then. But
that's what I'm saying.
Either way, it's regardless. The front line and the carry can like swap between being on the 3 rotation or the 1 rotation.
I mean, it all depends on the game, right? Like, it all depends on the
exactly. On the lanes and all that, yeah.
But I think I'll let you go, Cobbs.
That blue laner, right? The 1 in blue at 10-10. Is that blue laner ideally shoving the wave and then going to help with the urn fight? And then the 1 on green is just hard shoving?
That's a great question. So yeah, the one person that
obviously
at 10-10 after the person that's getting the boxes rotates over to the left side to yellow. The person that's on blue at 10-10, right? That person's just playing for shove, and then if they need if they need to give support to the right side, they give support to the right side. Their main priority your main priority on blue is to make sure that the person that's or like both of the people on green and on blue, your main priority is to keep lane shoved. Make sure objective doesn't get taken, or like at least calm if something's happening. But then also you're immediately giving aid to the person that doesn't have, or I would assume that would work the other way around. I don't know if I would feel comfortable having my green go to blue. Maybe I would probably just want the 3 people that's on yellow to rotate over. It would probably just make more sense anyways. And have my 1 guy here. Yeah.
Back over to weak side. Yeah.
No. 1 person on green will stay green, guaranteed. I think the 1 person green should just stay green no matter what, because you have to protect this green guardian, and it's really hard to rotate to without people on yellow being able to rotate here, right? Like rotating from yellow to green is a little bit easier than going. Maybe I don't know. You have a lot of movement options that you can do, right? You have the vents and stuff, so it might it's a little bit more nuanced than I think. But I think in general, I would want my 2 people that are solo to stay on their lane guaranteed. Like unless it's like the blue going to green, if they have to lane aid, then I'll have you rotate over to green, but not vice versa.
Yep. No. This is a really good strategy. I think this is gonna work. That'll work in ideal situations for sure.
Yeah.
That's really good. So
and I'm gonna write this down.
Leave any lane uncovered, right? And I think this is a great plan, but as you've already mentioned, this can't be static. This has to be like if they are hard losing and they're like, okay, fuck it, like let's just hard shove green tower with like 4 of us.
And
right? Like you have to react to that.
And it's really, and the reason why we're doing this on like a more not concrete, but a more like I would say idiot level basis is to set the foundation, right? Like obviously we all know that there's a lot more gray area to this than that meets the eye. And there's going to be a lot of situations that we need to discuss and talk about. And obviously, I'm not going to try to harp over all of them with you in a long dialogue. But I'm definitely going to try to think about them, write them down, and then go over them with you guys when the time arises. So that way we can be able to have a solid game plan for like, okay, what if we only have 2 people contesting Earn and then 4 people on other side lane trying to get weak side, right? What if they're really trying to push for this Guardian because they already have blue Guardian or yellow Guardian and they weren't trying to get, if they already have blue Guardian and they have 2 people trying to get Earn, but then 4 people trying to push green, right? These are the things that we'll talk about later on a later date. It's kind of like when you start with the basics, you move to the advanced. We'll move to those. We'll get to those. And those are important to talk about. But I think if we try to start with the advanced without talking about the basics, it will make it to where we can't even do the basics, right? Like there's a lot of times where we have games where we're supposed to guaranteed win and we lose, right? So let's just get these basics out the way and then we'll move on to that, right? Okay. So yeah, moving forward, in chronologically, which I'll keep writing these down. So at like I said, at 10-10, we hit a 4-1-1 structure. And in that 4-1 structure, which let me write this down, when rotating, one frontliner stays green or stays yellow or stays left side. I'll just say yellow. Stays yellow. Let me actually bring this down here. Sorry, I'm typing on my side monitor, so you guys won't see it. And then we'll have. Should I have my frontliner or my hyper carry? I mean, it doesn't really matter. So I have one frontliner stay yellow, one carry of any sort. So it can be like Vindicta, anything, stay blue. And keep in mind, there's a specific reason why I want my carry to stay blue and not my frontliner to stay blue. Actually, I think it's interchangeable. I just think that like my front, I think that my carry, I would want my carry to be, I don't know. My carry actually shouldn't be involved as many fights as my frontliner. I'm trolling, so I'd probably flip it soon. So I mean, we could talk about it. Stays blue. And we'll have my support. And who else is with it? Probably another frontliner. Or because it'll either be like a Vindicta, a Geist, a pocket, like so yeah, just and carry, rotate with Earn. Yeah, oh yeah, my initiator. I keep forgetting about my initiator. Yeah, probably my initiator will probably be rotating around with Earn. I'll probably have my like this, and I'm assuming like a Kelvin like beam, right? A Kelvin like little ice beam with a paradox swap or paradox carbine, right? 3. Rotating over. And then I want my 2 hyper carries or my 2 frontliners that were on blue. So for example, right here, oh wait, shit, I'm undoing the wrong thing. Hold on. So yeah, I would have it to where, if I quickly reset this real quick. So yeah, in my 401, when they're rotating over, one person stays down on yellow while rotating. The person that was on blue, before we start, the moment we pick up Earn, the person that was on blue shoves lane, immediately rotates. You immediately rotate. You don't do anything else after that. You shove lane, rotate over. If you could take some camps between that, take some boxes, that's fine. That's fine. But I immediately want you to rotate, and the person that was on green starts posturing up. If we don't have Guardian, and this is kind of like those nuanced situations, I'm going to assume that we have Guardian in this situation. But if we don't have Guardian, then we would play for the Guardian after we deliver Earn. But I would just want you to posture in front of Earn. Like I need y'all guys to get in the habit of doing this. If we're delivering Earn, please do not play back. If you play behind Earn, you're already throwing our elo. You're just throwing. You need to play in front of it. So that way we can be able to get a better position and make sure that people can't contest. Ideally, the ideal position that we want to kind of take is right here. This specific spot where safe is the spot that most people come to take advantage, because that's where they're going to start coming from, right here, right here, and right here. We want to be like around these areas to kind of just be able to fend it off. And if someone's already there, which I would assume that we would already have our guys there before them, the moment someone shows, I want your guys' take on this. This is what I think. I think we should immediately start going in for the fight, right? Immediately. But that's kind of like I don't know how you Cobbs or you guys are in the fights, X Stars. If you guys think that's more advantageous for the two people here, because you should already have two people here, right? If one person shows up, if y'all 2v1 him fast enough, especially since y'all are both frontliners
No,
or
it's too risky.
carries.
It's too risky. It's too risky.
I was
yeah.
gonna say
Okay.
the same thing. Yeah.
It's like if we have to like have a lot of knowledge as to where the enemy team is
Yeah.
and what
Mhm.
they're trying to do in order to make that play. That play can be
Yeah.
made, but you first need to identify where's their team. Because if we
Okay.
jump in as 2 and say they have 4, right?
Mhm.
Like then we both die, and now great, we can't do Earn for another fucking like 30 seconds.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think an important point on that is that when we're fighting for earn, we're fighting for earn, not for kills. So like,
Yeah.
if we're able to fight and then get the earn, we should immediately back off of whatever fight we're taking because
Yeah, if we're
more
winning.
We're
time,
losing the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
well generally like even if it's like a neutral fight, like there's a lot of times where it's just not worth the risk running into people when we don't need to, when we want to take a fight elsewhere. Because if like even if it's like neutral, if you get unlucky or like if you get ulted and you die, now we can't do earn. Now I'm just sitting there with an objective for 20 seconds that I can't play off of.
Okay.
So it's
okay.
like it's important that we create enough pressure to where earn can be grabbed, but it's also important to not die while grabbing the earn, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to fight to depot it, right? We're
No, yeah,
fighting
you're
to
right.
grab it,
and
and grabbing
to,
it gives us like nothing really. So
Mhm. Yeah, to articulate, I mean, my perspective. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, so I won't even go into it. But yeah, so yeah, we'll just play for. I guess we'll just play for poke, play for damage on that. So I like.
like
I
like
think
your idea,
specifically
common sense
for
of
the
like
earn delivery.
pressuring it, because I think pressuring those areas is smart. I just don't think we need to like run in and play for kills. Does that make sense?
no, you're exactly right. The reason I was even saying that, which I'm gonna have to articulate it now because I don't want to make it seem like I understand. Like I don't want us to play for kills at all, right? I know that we're kill hungry already as it is. The thing is that when like the moment we see one person, especially like I'm assuming off a earn drop off in a winning situation that they were trying to fight this and they started losing and they rotated back to heal and they're trying to rotate here now. And if my two guys who are already positioned here rotate up to take a 2v1, I just feel like it's a more advantageous fight, right? And then also on top of that, it's still before they can react in time because you guys were already right here. You guys were already positioned to come push up. So, and the thing is, and this happens a lot, which granted, I mean, this is a mistake on me, and this is why I'm like taking back what I said, is because the way that I'm thinking about it is that this team is positioning themselves poorly. And I'm assuming that there's only one person here. So that way, if you 2v1 him, you would be able to get a guaranteed kill because they won't have enough resources to send over in time. But against the good team, that's not going to be the case. Like if there's one person there, there's already definitely two other people there. No, like so yeah, you're right, guys. You guys are actually correct that we should be definitely not playing for the kill. Play some pressure, poke some up, make sure that they have to back away. They can't just be like, oh, like they can't just walk up here. Definitely try to zone them out right here. But yeah, definitely don't play for the kill. Just use your util, get them back, and then keep zoning. Keep, playing for, don't chase. Yeah. So yeah, once we do that, we rotate them. We rotate over. We have, once we drop off our frontliner and our carry, or a carry and a frontliner, then we'll have two people rotating with earn and two people that's already positioned up. The one person who doesn't have earn should be playing up to support the other two, and the person that has earn, this is important. You need to assess the situation, right? I think even if we're winning, even if we're hardcore winning, you should not be looking for a drop. I think the first thing you should be thinking of is that where is everyone on the map? Do I have a proper place to drop this off? If there's a fight taking place, let's say for example, the two people that were already here are engaged in like some combat, trying to just make sure to fend off the enemies, and one of the enemies puts themselves out of position from a bad play or a bad mechanical mistake, and the support players coming in to come support, I would want you to come in and try to hammer in the fight. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong on this. I'm just assessing this off of my thought process. I think that taking that fight and getting those kills I think it comes first before earn at 10 minutes. But if you guys disagree and you guys think that earn is way more valuable than any fight could even give us, even with people dead on the line and getting objectives from it possibly, then hey, that's fine too. But I think that like trying to hammer in on the fight is just like a really beneficial thing. And I would even argue that I don't know. I don't want to give too many situations at once, so I don't want to overload with knowledge. But I just think that that's kind of my thought process to it. What do you guys think?
I feel like at 10 minutes you can't even like capitalize off kills too well. Like I genuinely feel like the earn is probably more important because it's not like you can go like push a walker at 10 minutes and get it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
right.
Assuming all the towers are that. If you can get your flex, like if you don't have your flex and you don't lose earn automatically for getting your flex, you should go for the flex. The kills are not important. It's just the ability to get the flex. But like if you're like saying fight, like fighting's probably never the play at 10 minutes unless if it's for an objective.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
like,
unless they're like forcing a fight, I don't think it's like smart to fight.
How do we think that we can have 4 people take a walker or no? Like we don't think that. No.
You theoretically like at 13 minutes. Like just like I remember I named, like I do remember doing this, but like they need to have fucked up to the point to where like the game's already over, like we went, right? Like it's like that's not practical. We can't rely on that.
Yeah, of course. All right, I get that then.
You really shouldn't be taking walkers till their armor falls off.
Yeah,
They
so
still
okay.
have armor? I think they
Honestly,
do.
a lot of times if you're winning, you just want to like death ball the enemy farms.
That's kind of like, I mean, to kind of articulate why I was saying just go for the fight is just because like I think that you have 3 things you can potentially gain in that fight, right? You have fight, you have and I mean, technically 4 if you think about it, but yeah, like when I'm excluding earn because I'm like I'm just saying like the reason why we go for the fight instead of the earn right here in this situation is because we can get their farm. If we don't have Guardian, we get Guardian. And if we could potentially also get Walker, right? I think in my head, especially if multiple people come to this fight, I think that's a really good trade. And we can also potentially get earned because like we would be killing all the people that before they can get earned. Just to guarantee the fight or just to make sure that no one dies, right? But and then also like keep in mind we also have this left side happening, right? It's not like nothing's happening on this left side. We can have our guys push up, start doing some damage because if we kill people off of this right side, it weakens their left side because now we can do things on the left side that we couldn't do before, like getting more objectives, getting farm, right? It lightens the load overall. But that's my perspective, and that's why I was saying I want your guys' take on it. What did you say, Hisham?
Do we see that we're going to be able to make it in time for the rotation for this earn delivery to like is the rotation timings working? That's my main question for the rest of the team. Is like, are we going to be able to have the frontliner and like the initiator and the support be able to rotate in time for the rest of the fight while we're trying to deliver earn?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you're asking like when they pick up
is
earn.
the timing's going to work out for us to be able to have the 114 rotation while we're
while you're holding this down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So did everyone understand that or?
I'm just trying to see and understand and make sure that the rotation times are actually going to work out before like the actual earn delivery.
So we're talking, we have the earn, right? Like we're like 10:25 right now. And you're saying so when we are running at 2 green.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can definitely.
Go ahead, Cops.
Because like
who do we want rotating over there?
We want our support and initiator. We want our carries to stay down because we're gonna have 2 carries here.
Okay.
So like and the thing is, and what I don't know. I just want to kind of reiterate what kind of Hisham was saying is that when we have 2 people fighting here on this side, on left side, or not fighting, but like when we had the 4-1-1, we had the 4-1-1 at 10-10. Mm-hmm. Those the 2 people that were on the 1-1 side came together and met at green to hold off the position for earn. While they're holding off position for earn, do we think that we can realistically hold that position while we have our support and our initiator coming over to the right side? Can we make it in time is what he's asking. Or are we going to have it to where too many people can rotate from the enemy side to make it back and then force these 2 people off.
Well, I see what you're saying. You're saying if they just TP, yes, they will be there quicker than the urn. But we have urn advantage at that point, assuming we have the urn. So if they really want to stack more players over there, then we just say like fuck you, and we just like farm. Like we just go push a tower or something. Right? Like they can't hard stack the urn if we're not running it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I feel like that just comes up to like adaptability and seeing what they're doing. And I don't see that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think if we see them stack, then like we can't. If it's a winning fight, we fight it. Like I don't think we should not like fight it if we're up like 5, 10K. Like we should fight that. But if it's even and then they really want to stack 5 players, like fuck them. Like I don't see the point. Don't run into them. And also one thing I haven't heard mentioned yet. A lot of this is heavily dependent on characters. Right, we say like, oh, it's a carry that's supposed to be here. It's that, like, no, like we no matter what, like if it's a Kelvin gnome, like that Kelvin better be on the fucking depot, right? Like he better, like if we have a lash, like that lash better be there for the fucking pickup. You know, things like that. They're just so impactful when it comes to these fights.
Yeah, and then I'll let you go.
I was gonna say I think it's like role dependent as well. Not role dependent, but like there's a difference between like a GT carry and like let's say like a 7 carry. Like if you're like GT, you would probably want to be in that like group of 4. But if you're playing like 7, maybe you still want to be in that group of 4 because of your ult. But if you're playing like Haze, you probably be on that like one side. So I think it just depends on like how we're drafting.
Yes. Yeah.
But I also think it's just like. But I like the idea of it. I think it's like important, but I don't think it's as simple as saying, "Oh, this role goes here, this role goes here," because I think it all depends on like how we draft and like what the situation like intends. Because there's a lot of times where we probably draft like 3 people who could all be solo lane characters, and we can honestly just like swap them in and out of lane depending on how it like unfolds. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah,
like I don't think we should be focused about on like who's where. I think we should be more focused about of what's the setup supposed to look like, because I think everybody can understand like I'm a carry character, I should probably be in a solo lane. I'm a sword player, I should probably be with the team. You know what I mean?
I hear that. It's just that the reason why we state titles is not just, it's not for the fact of like I don't think you guys know this. It's just for the fact of it. I don't want ambiguity in the articulation of it. The thing is that when we take into account, or when we talk about, when I say I want my initiator and my support to be rotating over, and my carry and my frontliner to be dropped off, I don't mean like, I'm saying that like, the reason I'm saying that is just because of what Cobb said. Like my Kelvin better be there, my Lash better be there. Those are my initiators. Those are my
utility.
It depends on the character. It depends on the character, right?
It depends on the character and the
But
character's
like
utility.
like a Moen Krill being there, like it's not so important. Like he can definitely hold off a lane. Like he's not too impactful on a you know.
I hear you.
Right?
Okay.
Like,
I mean, he's considered a
it's not
frontline though, no?
game-changing. Yeah, sure, right. But like it's not
Okay.
like a game-changing character to be there, right? It's like Kelvin is a game-changing. Like that will completely change the way the enemy has to play the fight, right? Like Mo, like but like
I think
it's
most
the same
supports,
with, like, Paradox or Holiday, right? Like it's not unique.
That's kind of what I was saying with like 7. Like you could use 7 ult to literally zone the entire infight, but you could also just push a solo wave by yourself on 7 and get max farm. Like it all depends about like I guess like where you are on the map during the urn, I guess as well, or, like during the pickup. Because like urn switches sides, right? So there might be a time where like, I mean not ideally, but the carries on the side where the urn is spawning, or the carries on the opposite side of where urn spawning, so they end up just auto being in that urn fight. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a bad thing, especially if they're like on a character like 7 where they can kind of do both, right? I think it's just about like mainly just like adapting to situations depending on what's going on, and like having like a general idea of like what you can do on that character and how you can like actually help the team. I think it's like the big important part about it.
Yeah.
I think everyone understands their characters enough to know if they should be going in the fight or rotating out of the fight. You know what I mean? Like everyone understands their roles and their characters enough to know.
That's my point.
Yeah. So when I do say these lines or these roles, you can take them with a grain of salt, and definitely just know that like obviously like the variable is what characters we are playing, and what roles we're taking up when we play those characters, right? So yeah, I agree though. Oh shit, I trolled. All right, sorry about that. Is it Control Shift Z? Yeah. No, is it Control Y? No, it's not. That's actually troll. All right, whatever.
Control R.
No, I'm trying to redo, or I'm trying to
Control Z.
it's okay. I did, or it undoes. I'm trying to redo. I was undoing, but it's okay. It's whatever. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, like, and you guys can kind of see the
Control Y.
value of. That's okay. It's okay. I'm deleting everything. I'm just restarting. But yeah, moving on. You know, at the we talked about the preparation. We talked about the execution. Now I want us to talk about the aftermath. So in the ideal world, like I said, going back to the 114, we have 4 people over here delivering urn. One person, the person that's holding urn, drops off urn, gets the urn. Great. Now what is the game plan? We need to think about this because it's a lot of times where we do mixed signals on what we want. If there's an objective on the same lane that we get the urn, we go objective immediately. It's not even close. I don't think there's really anything else. If you have a bag, fuck it. I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm sorry. I won't say fuck it. If you have a bag, yeah, I can understand. You should definitely have bought right here when there's a shop right here. But regardless, I think that playing the objective right there immediately after urn is just more beneficial because you already have that advantage of 4 people on one lane, and it's really hard for you not to get the objective. Like I think it's really hard. No,
I
what's
think
up?
it depends on like I don't know. I feel like when you're trying to go into this, it's like so situational. Like I don't think you can have like a general plan for things like this.
No, I think it works because we can just take that and use that in adapting it to the game. Like, let's say, for example, that tower's not there on the right side, but the tower's on the left side. All we have to do is rotate left side and go for that tower instead, or like
I disagree.
rotate mid and get that tower instead. Like, I think the logic still applies. It's just about adapting it to the game.
Yeah, but I think the issue is like after you get urn, like I don't know, like I mean, assuming you get urn, right? Like I'm doubting they're not going to give it to you for free. Like,
right?
Even if they give it to you for free, like I still feel like if you're taking that objective and there's 4 of you there, you're going to get punished somewhere elsewhere on the map. Like I don't know. I don't feel like just like trying to like keep tempoing like objective after objective after objective really is like worth, because I think over time you're just gonna get punished by someone who just doesn't play around you. Because I think we're assuming here is that like they're playing around the way that we want to play, and because of that, what's gonna happen is that they're just gonna run at us. We're gonna kill everybody, and we're just gonna get everything. Because like yeah, we get earn. We're assuming that we get earn for free, right? Because there's still 4 of us alive. If there's for some reason 4 of them here, yeah, we could take tower, and then it's a 4v4 fight. Or there could be 4 on the right side of the map pressuring our solo guy, and he loses tower because of that.
Yeah,
and sure we trade, but then we trade objectives, right? But what if what if one person goes mid, or 2 people go mid, and then there's 2 on the side lane, and they both take both towers? Then we have to like rotate and around it, right? Like we can't just like say. I don't think it's as simple as just saying, "Oh, we go do this. Oh, we go do that." Like I think it's definitely like an in-game scenario that like. I don't think it necessarily needs to be like perfect. Like. I think the issues that we have right now is that we don't do anything. I think we need to do something, but I don't think that something can be like predefined. I think it needs to be like a call. Does that make sense?
And no, that's a great point right there, Renewal. I think the reason why and why we have to talk about these things is to not it's the reason why we're doing this isn't just for the fact of giving a de facto one size fits all plan. It's also for the fact of creating those nuanced dialogues that we don't really talk about as a team that you might seem obvious to some people but aren't, like because like obviously they aren't if we keep unexecuting them, right? We keep executing in such a poor fashion consistently that it's obvious that it's not an obvious thing, right? If it was obvious, I think we'd all be able to just not talk. We would be able to non-com go through everything like fly through it.
I think the primary issue is that we're just it feels like we're just used to matchmaking where you can kind of just do something and do nothing after and it's fine. Like there's I can remember one time where we got to pick inside their jungle and right after our entire team backed up and didn't do anything off of the pick. Like Situations like that is just we don't know what to do when we get an objective, so we just decide to do nothing, and I think that's an issue. So what I think is like the better solution is, okay, we got earned, like, because with earn you can always play for earn if you know the timer, right? Which is obvious, you know the timer for. But every other objective, I feel like, is so situational because you don't have to, you can't just like say, oh, okay, let's just go run at the Guardian now and take it. More times than not, you can't, right? So I think it's important to say, okay, what are the possibilities of plays that we can do? Do we want to like force them to fight us? Do we want them to have to make the first move? And there's like different ways of playing around that, but I don't think it's as simple as just like, okay, we got earn, we don't see people, let's go take this tower. I don't think it's like that simple, if that makes sense. So you have to analyze the entire situation, and you need to be aware of what's going on the whole map to make that like proper decision.
Yeah, I think one thing that I think the way that we should be looking at it is more of like priorities, right? As far as like what's our checklist of priorities to do. I think number one should be the Guardian on that side if it's still up. Number two should be the farm on the right side if it's still up for them on their side. And then number three should be you know, I guess maybe number one should be protecting our Guardians, right? Obviously. So like for example, if someone's pushing up on left side trying to get a split push in, we have one of our guys drop back from our 4 to make it a 2-1-3. And then we would have it to where if someone's on blue or someone's like pushing up blue, then we push, or we have a 2 drop off over here. And ideally in homeostasis, in an ideal situation, I think that the best like situation to kind of foster is something like a 1-1, yeah, I guess a 1-1-1-3 somewhere, like something around this line. And I only say this because it doesn't have to be 3 on one side. It can be a 2 and a 1. Nah, I can't really be. But I would want it to where we have roamers that can be able to play for the jungle and play in the jungle almost like consistently. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think like the farm is just like after laning is done and we're letting our we're letting our carries get the waves to get as much farm as possible. We should have people that are just staying in the farm trying to just like bully farm from the enemy team, but then also maybe even secure some kills for us. Or am I trolling on that? Is that kind of like not really a great assessment?
No, I think that makes sense.
I think
Go
it
ahead,
makes
Ronald.
sense. I just think the issue is like I'm not trying to like I don't even know how to word this because I don't want to like say it in like a dickheaded way. I'm not trying to like undermine what you're doing, but I think like a big part of this game is pattern recognition and being able to tell what's going on based on those patterns. And it is kind of like the way that we're saying like, oh, if they fight earn, well then they lose something else on the map, right? Like that's a pattern that people do. And so I think what's important is like we can talk about all we want about these like specific like idealistic scenarios, but at the end of the day I feel like it's much more important for us to just understand types of patterns that happen and how we want to react to them. So like I like the idea of like sitting here and saying, oh well, like priority this, priority that, priority this, but like if they already have a flex slot, priority 1 wouldn't be our Guardian, right? If they have a flex slot we don't, our priority would be getting their Guardian. So it's, you know what I mean? Like it's all,
Yeah.
I feel like it's all pattern recognition. It's all situation dependent. So much so that it's like, I don't know how much now this is like helpful. Like I don't want to say that. I'm not trying to like say that in like a rude way or anything, but
keep going.
But yeah, like, I mean, I just think it would be much more beneficial to like actively, like, I don't want to say that like obviously this is like like you were saying, like the boring stuff helps, I agree with, but I think it's much more important to like kind of have like visual examples of like situations in game and what you can do. Like obviously we can't do it now, but like our next scrim, let's say after our next scrim we should go look at the state of maps during certain like segments and be like, okay, what should we be doing, what's the other team doing, or like even in like someone's matchmaking game. Like I think those two things, if you're able to like do that consistently and identify those things and everybody's on the same page with that, then it's clear what it is to do in that exact scenario. And if it isn't, it's because you've never encountered that scenario before.
And then we can add it to our catalog.
Exactly. Like that's kind of what I'm saying.
No,
So, like,
And also, I want to add one thing. People just need to play more. And also, I'm going to call out one person in particular. My bad. Shadow, you got to stop playing on your Smurf, bro. You're just playing against bums and it's going to build bad habits. Play on your main. Try to play against better
I just
players.
play EU. I just played against EU pros like all the time. Like I don't ever queue NA like high elo. It's like way worse. I either just queuing with like friends or I'm just gonna queue high elo. I'm not gonna.
No,
ever,
it's just a simple fact that if you're on a higher elo account, you're gonna face other higher elo players. Like it's just more likely. Like I don't know. Like I don't think you should sit on your Smurf that's lower ranked than your main and queue against shitters all day. I feel like that's just gonna build bad habits and stop you from improving. And that applies to anyone that plays on a Smurf.
Mm-hmm.
I just know you do it specifically.
I think that when it comes to, I mean, I really agree with like what XR says as far as like we want to be at a pro level. I understand we want to have fun, right? Like I understand we want to play with friends. It's so fun. It's awesome. It's a good little banter, good game. But like there's a reason why when we saw Ido playing with Average Jonas, we kind of scoffed at him, like, what the fuck? Why are you playing with this shitter? And it's because like when you play at a high level, right? You need to be able to maintain that high level of skill. And if you don't keep your knife sharpened, and if you use it too much, it's going to get dull. You need to keep the knife sharpened.
Well, I mean, I queuing into like higher elo lobbies than I normally queue into though. I queue into better lobbies on this account than I'm queuing in my main one. I just go to EU anyway.
I was gonna say like it's not like Shadow is like
EU. I just literally fucking like run to ABL and literally just die in 2 minutes, and then there's nothing to do. I literally queued into a game against like free mock together, and we just it was not fun.
Okay, so apart from their anecdotal situation that you're experiencing, why do you think that on a lower elo account you're getting into higher lobbies? If the reason isn't anecdotal,
I'm not either.
Then why can't you queue EU on your main? Where you're then getting even higher EU lobbies?
Because I just lose like in 2 minutes.
I don't know. I personally don't think it matters too much so long as is like you're not playing like Initiate or like Archon lobbies or some bullshit. Like I don't think there's been an issue with Shadow Viz to where it's like justifiable to be like, yeah, it's clear you're not getting enough practice. Like I think
I'm not saying he's not getting enough practice. I'm saying it's better if we all queue on our highest rank accounts more often to play against better people. Anything Ascendant and lower, or anything lower than Ascendant is just not good. And it's like, yeah, even on I'm E6, even I get into Phantom
below, like,
or
E3
Oracle.
is pretty bad, bro. Low key.
Like I get into Phantom or Oracle lobbies. It's like whatever, but at least I know there's another Eternus on the other team because they queued into me. That's kind of my point. Is like the average might be bad. At least there's one other good player in the lobby that I'm against. True.
And they typically
that's my point of him being on his main. Is like if he's on his main, which is Eternus, and he gets into a Phantom lobby, at least there's one other Eternus player on the other team. But if he's on his Ascendant or if he's on his Ascendant or Phantom account and he's playing in a Phantom lobby, there's another Phantom against him.
Yeah, he's playing against Phantom.
He's an Eternus with 11 other Phantoms in the lobby. I'd rather he be in Eternus with 10 Phantoms and one Eternus in the lobby. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think that what Shadowviz is kind of articulating, and I do see his point as far as like EU's ranking ladder is a lot more stacked than NA's. So like for example, when you play, I think I don't know,
play against people that are better than you.
Yeah,
your man play against people that are better than you. Your mistakes will actually get punished.
No, but I lost. Like you lose lane in 2 minutes, and you sometimes just take it randomly.
Then use that to improve.
No, there's like
X-Stars has a good point.
Actually, give a shout out his
like you lose 2 minutes like 100 times in a row, and you'll still lose in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm about to say like I understand like the premise of wanting to try to improve and like play against someone better so you can see, because I mean, granted, I think there is something to learn on both sides. Like you can still learn. I think regardless if you're playing in an Archon or not Archon, but like let's say a Phantom lobby or Eternus lobby, you can still learn something. Like it's not impossible to learn because like you still have yourself to be able to judge yourself on, what you're like. That's kind of like, when you're a driver, if you're a race car driver and then you check your times as far as like you're trying to beat yourself, right? It's the same thing when you're playing your game. Like if you can play to a better standard, you can try to like see what you did wrong and still learn from it. But I do agree with X-Stars as far as like learning from the best is the best way to get better, right? So playing in higher lobbies that you get shitted on, you can still learn why you got shitted on. And if you think you can't learn from that, then you're just, I believe you're being closed-minded. And I believe that you're not thinking of it in a actual healthy way, because you're always going to get shit on at a higher tint.
Yeah, I want to kind of pile onto that. Like, my opinion is like yeah, you probably would learn better if we could all queue only Eternus lobbies all day. But if you go into a Phantom lobby and you play poorly or you don't win, ask yourself why. Why are you not good enough to carry a Phantom lobby? Because in my opinion, we should all be good enough to carry a Phantom lobby. And if you can't, that's embarrassing. And so you need to learn. We all need to learn to improve and get better that we can every time.
I kind of agree with that.
Phantom NA lobbies right now
not everyone plays characters.
The thing
that
is,
are
like, I
capable of
swear,
doing that too.
Unity Q.
Almost every character in the game is, except for maybe like 3.
Like, there's.
I mean,
And even then, you can have extremely high. Hold on. There are Eternus players who one-trick Dynamo that made it to Eternus one-tricking Dynamo. Like, you can still go.
Good.
You can still go up no matter what character you can play. Yeah, maybe it's harder on Dynamo than it is on Shiv.
Yeah, but we're talking about like solo.
We know Evsky, you're getting bogged down in specifics right now. Like, we don't have to get specific about, like, he's just trying to, he's articulating a point that.
I don't play my main account either on EE though. It's like lobbies are like.
I feel like this could have been stopped like a long time ago. Like, I don't think Shadow is trying to say that playing low elo is going to get him more experience.
So I don't know.
That is what he said.
I don't think that's what he said.
No, that's not what he's saying.
I'm literally, I'm pretty sure like Oracle 2 in these EU lobbies, I get more, like, less resistance in like E1, E2 lobbies. Like, I get way less resistance. Like, literally, Oracle 3s give you more resistance than land in that like region. Unironically,
I will say I played one EU game and I thought it was like Ascendant and it was Archon. So
yeah, they're very good, and the 200 ping makes the game like pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand, like, and the only reason why I'm letting this conversation go on, one, is because I want to make sure you guys feel like you have a voice and you can articulate your opinions. If you guys feel like, and I want y'all not to do this thing, and I didn't bring this up earlier, and I'm gonna bring it up now. I'm gonna go on a super small tangent, super small. I swear to God, I'll make it short. But I really don't like it how lately, I've noticed it a lot lately, y'all go and invalidate opinions so much. Y'all do this as a fundamental thing, and I really don't like it. Stop doing that. Y'all invalidate each other's opinions, and it's literally the worst thing you can do. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as being closed-minded.
I'll validate that opinion.
It's the same exact. It's the same exact category of being closed-minded, because you're just not allowing it to where you can actually open and understand someone else's taking something outside of yourself and being in someone else's shoes. By not doing that, you are literally just making yourself a worse person and a worse player. You need to be able to articulate and understand that someone else has a thought that might not agree with you, and it's still for the benefit of the group. That can be true. Someone can disagree with you and still be wanting to benefit the group at the same time. So it's important that you try to understand that, hey, I might not agree with what's being said, but I want to give him the time to say his concern and try to process it before I just needlessly respond. And say, I don't want y'all get in the habit of, like, when y'all hear someone else talking, you immediately start thinking about, what can I say back? Right? That's a natural response, right? But we act on it, right? That's not always great. What's much better is just letting it sit back. Let it marinate. While they're saying their things, think about it and actually try to see, like, okay, what are they saying? Okay, now I know what I'm going to say back, and I can know if I want it. Exactly. So it's like, I need y'all to stop doing that. It's actually it's really detrimental to yourself, to the team, to everything.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't
it doesn't do anything. It just allows it for more arguing and infighting to happen. I hate when y'all invalidate each other. It's so bad. I really don't like it. I always try to validate all of your guys' opinions and understand them before I just go and needlessly, like, and I say needlessly, but like, try to just shut them down, like, or say, like, my disagreements. I want you guys to feel heard, and I would want you guys to also make sure other people on the team feel heard.
And it goes for both parties in every situation, and it goes for everybody. This is not inclusive or exclusive to everybody. Like, everybody needs to follow by this.
But
what's it called? People play whatever account you want, but I guess I'll leave it with like this. Like, if you're losing, there's a reason apart from, oh, my teammates are bad, that you're losing. Don't use
Yes.
that
Absolutely right.
constantly as an excuse for why you're losing in matchmaking. Because
Miles.
if you're good enough, you'll win. It's that simple.
Yeah,
Maybe not
he's
every game,
absolutely right.
but overall, you will win.
Yeah, I completely agree with X Stars. I think it's important that
Yeah.
we do not, when we have failures, we cannot externalize all of them. We have to internalize some of them. If you fail as in a game, you have to think, okay, what did I do that I could do better? I know a lot of people here do
Yeah.
that. Don't worry. I know the guys. I know you guys. I know the people that have that mentality that look at VOD reviews for 20 minutes after a game to see like what the fuck could I have done better, right? But I want us to have that mentality in every aspect, especially in pubs, because that's where you're going to get the most. Like when we talk about pattern recognition, the best way to train your pattern recognition is to actually get yourself placed in those situations in the moment, right? And those are the times where I want you guys to be the most internalized with your thoughts as far as like, okay, why did I fail right here so I can get better, right? That's where I want y'all to, and so I want y'all to play more, and because this is like the easy, I don't know. But yeah,
The
yes.
mentality after every game needs to become, what can I do better? What can I do to improve? What could I have done differently to make this game a different outcome, a better outcome, whether the game is a win or a loss?
Yeah.
That's what makes a professional mentality.
What's it
and
called?
allows-
I
Go ahead.
have a friend who, like, granted, he's better than all of us, so we can't do the same. But he started a brand new account, and it took him about 100, and in less than 100 maybe games, he was E6. In 100 games, he was E6,
Yeah.
and then 20 more, he was, I think, like top 30 or top 40. I don't remember exactly what it was. And it's like, we all can do our own version of that. In that,
Yeah.
and he also does almost exclusively solo queuing. I mean, he queued with me a couple times, but that's about it. So, like, we all can do that. Everybody can win solo queuing.
Yeah, I think some
That's
people
my
here have
point.
already
I
done
wanted to
it.
bring up a specific example to prove
No,
my
yeah,
point.
yeah,
That's
of
all.
course, and I get it, X Stars, and I would definitely say like I know some guys here that that have accomplished that to some degree, and it goes without saying. I think we
I did
are.
it in us.
I know who it is. I know guys. I know you guys, but yeah, it's just like the point still stands though, regardless of if you've done it or not. The point still stands as far as like the higher the rank that you play in, like y'all should be thinking, y'all should be. All right, if I was y'all, if I was in your situation, I would be foaming at the mouth, playing in EU, because if I'm E6 or if I'm a Turnus already, and I can go queue in EU with the top level players and get free games with them, that's
Free
like such a.
flares. Sorry, my bad. That's what
It's okay.
happens.
It's okay. It's literally like I don't know. I just think that like it's just that's like easy footage. That's easy. That's like free VOD review for me right there, right? Like if I was trying to be a pro player, that would be my first thing to do. Cause like what's the first thing y'all used to do when y'all wanted to get better at the fucking game? Like what's the first thing y'all would do? Y'all pull up YouTube. Y'all would watch some of the pros. Y'all would watch the guys that are good at the game, right? Y'all pull up Twitch. Like y'all watch Twitch all the time. So like why not get a personal game with these guys to be able to watch their games back and just see like, oh, this is what he does? Oh, I didn't even know he doesn't even put that in the YouTube video. So like these are the things that I would want you guys to think about, because this is what I would think about if I was y'all, right? So yeah. I agree. I hate getting shit on. I know everyone here hates getting shit on, especially with you high ego motherfuckers. But yeah, we sometimes you gotta get shit on to learn from. So a loss is always a lesson.
If you're losing these kinds of games, then you're really not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll move on from that. Does everyone feel like they said what they wanted to say, or does anyone have anything to say? Shadow, is anybody?
Yeah.
I saw you.
I was just gonna say, bro, I kind of like stopped queuing a lot of NAMM because, well, one reason was because, bro, I swear, like a lot of times I queue against, like we're in an Eternus lobby, and then there's like one Oracle in the enemy lane, and they RQ in 5 minutes. Like there's like most of the games, like lately I played the last like 4 games I played in NA, literally had like 3 of them had like an RQ in them. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and the matchmaking is way more unbalanced. Like,
Yeah,
they're way
it is.
more likely to be placed in the Oracle lobby. Like,
Yeah, and I agree.
just for
And
no
then
reason.
yeah, when
And
I first heard,
it's just unpopular. It just happens every fucking time. Like, you just randomly at a Phantom game.
yeah,
It just, I mean,
yeah,
these games are not hard. It's just like, it's just kind of annoying. I'd rather just queue like a better region anyway.
yeah.
You know, 430 ping.
keep in
Kinda sucks,
mind,
but
yeah, the one thing I think about is like obviously like when I think about what you just I won't harp on it too much, and I'll let you get one response, and I'll let that be the final before. But when I hear that type of mindset of like, all right, like I don't like queuing in these lower elo lobbies because like they're obviously dog shit. I'm not learning from them, right? But then also the fact of like the contrarian me is thinking is you're playing in you go over the EU on your Smurf so that way you can be able to play in a lobby that's around your skill level, but then also with players that are around your skill level so that way you can make it much more enjoyable. But I also hear that you just can't perform good enough in a Oracle setting, right? Or like with Phantom players here, right? I'm not saying that like that's what you're thinking, or I'm not saying that
no,
that's like the
I
bottom line.
literally like have a lot of accounts where I solo queue like E6 pretty fast. It's not like that hard. It's actually really easy to win these like fan games where I solo queue. It's like normally when I'm stacking with these guys, I just like kind of trolling. In like
Yeah.
Phantom lobby, the lobby's a Phantom lobby, and we're like stacking. I'm not gonna ever like try that. Like to be honest, because most of the time it just like low key when I hard trying those lobbies, it just like I swear it's always an RQ. Like I literally was solo queuing, like we're duo queuing, and like 4 of the matches were remade in a row. Like there's some streaks of remade matches.
Yeah.
I'm just like not trying to like 5Q into like an Oracle 2 lobby.
Yeah. I wanted to quickly
And then sweat in an Oracle 2 lobby.
yeah, I wanted to move on from that. I'll let Chavez have his last say in it. So I'm gonna move on from that. But I wanted us to talk about something else that I wanted to bring up. But I wanted to talk about this after when we had discussed about a lot of other things. I wanted to talk about ground rules, right? And these are things that I was kind of thinking about while after what happened after the dialogue that we had yesterday. I want to kind of not ground rules, not like if you do these you're going to get punished, or if you break these it's going to get punished. It's just like things that we want to the standards that we want to hold ourselves to. Not in scrims. These are outside of scrims. Like one of them that I think about off the bat is when we're playing with teammates, we hard try. 100%. No questions asked. Nothing else. I don't want games. I like y'all can have fun, y'all can laugh, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to play to win. Play to improve. Play for the sake of
Becoming a
the
professional.
game. Yeah, exactly. Of like evolving in the game, right? So I really don't want us to like I really want us to kind of like knock out the culture of like being or trolling or like having fun. I want us to kind of like sweep that off. At least like in the sense of like at the detriment of the game in any form. Like obviously like if you're playing with like some shitters, right? I would hope that you guys don't commonly play with shit lobby guys. Like I would hope that you guys don't play with me often. Like for example, when I played with Cobbs, I played 2 games with Cobbs. I probably played 2 games. I probably played like 5 games with Cobbs total. And the 2 games I played with Cobbs this week, he was like, "All right, Common, fuck off." And I was like, "All right." I left before he even said it. Like, I don't want you guys to play with my type of skill level. I don't want you guys to be playing with like shit like Final Boss, like whoever that nigga's name is with the profile
Martini
picture of
Deadlock.
Hunter x Hunter, the Hunter x Hunter
Oh.
profile picture. Yeah, Crollo. I don't want you to be playing with these shit cans. I don't want you to be playing with I want you to just be playing with the team. That's ideally what I would want you guys to do. Obviously, I'm not going to force you guys to do anything. I don't want to make it seem like it's like an obligation or you have to do something. I just would like it to where we're all on the same page for situations like these. I want and there's a reason why I changed the title of the voice chat that we're in to Good with Losing, and I set it to the very top. So that way we can start just like utilizing this chat more and just coming in here anytime when you're available, you're playing some games, just swipe on here. Just stop by, stay for a little bit, see somebody might come, boom, you get another person, you get a duo. Like I want y'all to be playing together to be able to foster obviously the obvious connection and obviously to be able to do lane practice with each other in a real game.
Learn each other's
But
playstyles, synergize.
yeah, but also it's for the fact of I want you guys to play in a duel in a game and try to win. I want y'all to get those reps in of just trying to win in a deadlock game. because I think like I don't know, I like this sense of us trolling every single time after or just vibing. Like it's gotta stop. It's got to. It has to. Realistically, we gotta get to a sense where we can just be like, hey, let's fucking win this. Let's go. Get that mentality in. But that's one of the ground rules I was thinking about. Another one that I was thinking about is that we should always try to allow it to where people finish their sentences, allow them to finish like what they're articulating, even if we kind of know what they're already doing, just kind of let them go. You know, let's not try to interrupt. We can if you need to, but like let's try to just like refrain. And obviously we do a good job of that, but just like bring it up because like there's a lot of times when we do get heated and we just forget that rule, right? And I want us to kind of just keep trying to keep it in place. It was like, hey, just let me finish, and I'll let you. I'll let you go, Cobbs. You guys say something?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. Okay. But yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try to think of some more, but like those are just like some of the important ones I wanted to kind of just voice. Does anyone have anything to say about them?
About the ground rules?
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. I'll probably have some more to add on to it, but I can't think of any right now.
Is anyone not in favor of them or thinking they're kind of stupid? You can voice yourself, man. Yeah, it's not a bad take if you want to disagree or be like, I don't know if we kind of need to do this, but all right. Moving on from that. I think with that, I think I've said all that I've needed to say. Sham, do you have anything?
No, I think the only thing I want to address is we need to have like a secondary team meeting going over all this, obviously with everyone else, but also going over the rest of the game plan as well. Obviously this is just like a good start and a baseline, and a lot of understanding, I believe, has come from it.
I would hope.
We just
go ahead.
need to be on the same page. Go ahead.
One thing I'm gonna do before I stop the recording is I want to if everyone here doesn't have to be too long. I would at least want it to be of a sentence. If you can just give your take on the conversation we just had, and what are your views, what are your thoughts, and how do you think, or do you agree with what's been said today? If not with everything, what did you kind of disagree with or kind of wanted, or not even that, you don't have to say what you disagreed with, but did you agree with everything that was said today? Yes or no? Did you feel like we addressed everything that we needed to, or most of the things that we needed to as a team? Yes or no? Did you feel like there were some points that you were thinking that we needed to talk about? Yes or no? You don't have to specify if you don't want to, if you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I just want to know your guys' thoughts individually to know that obviously you guys are A, paying attention, but then B, wanting to, or, had
Have an
your own,
opinion.
like, have an opinion on what's happening with the team. Starting from the top down with Cobbs, X-Stars, Evsky, and all that.
Cobbs is not here.
I have nothing to add.
So you agree with everything that's been said so far, X-Stars?
I have nothing to voice.
That's fine. If you don't mind me asking you one more question specific towards you, do you think what I said about being able to take criticism, do you think you as a player could implement that type of practice into your type of gameplay, or do you find it not to your style?
It's hard to say. I mean, it really just depends on. I mean, like, if someone's saying some bullshit and I think it's poor criticism, I'm gonna be direct about that, and I think there's a decent amount of that happens. So I feel like it incorrectly comes across as unwilling to learn criticism, but I feel like whenever something's said that is actually like of value, I don't have any reaction to it.
Okay.
But I think part of the reason is there's me and other people and some other people on the team just have like fundamentally we don't see the game in the same way, and so there's always going to be something that pops up where it's just I'm going to criticize them for something, but then they're going to be like, well, no, I don't think that's what blah blah blah, and then they're going to criticize me for something. I'm going to be like, well, no, I don't think blah 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 blah.
I see. Yeah.
So
That's a good
I don't really
point.
know what the solution to that is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Xstars, I think it was a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. I don't remember exactly when, but we had the same sort of situation and issue between Cobbs and Miles, and they were arguing for a long time. And this kind of situation happens between a lot of people, where they just fundamentally don't agree, and it turns into a tangent, an argument, and blah, 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 blah. But the reality is we've come to a point where that's no longer an issue, and that's where we need from everybody on the team, right?
Okay, so I have a question. So like, let's say we do a scrim, whatever. We do a VOD review. We talk about, things that went wrong, and there's something that's said about the way I played wrong, but I don't agree that I was played wrong. Do you want me to just say okay? Because I'll be straight up. I'll say okay, but I won't actually change because I believe I'm right. I guess like where.
Or dog shit mentality, though. No, like
No.
just assuming you're always right.
Let him finish.
I'm not always right.
Yeah,
I literally said there's some specific instances where I don't agree, and that's literally my point. Is when criticism is correct or ideas are correct. Like we spent 30 minutes going over what to do at 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, or 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and 13 minutes, and I didn't say one negative thing about that because I don't have a big disagreement to that. I'm totally down to play this way or try this way, and I didn't.
Yes, but the issue is when there are disagreements, you've just outright said no. I'm not open to learning. Like that's what you said.
Something I want to say about that is there's a difference between fundamentally disagreeing with something versus being closed-minded about it, right? You can disagree with something, but also be willing to understand their perspective on it, right? And you can still be accepting of their perspective even though you fundamentally disagree with something. I know it's something that's a little bit hard to understand and something that may need to be developed, but it is definitely something that's possible.
So I guess, Renewal, since you think I'm closed-minded, if I were to criticize a play of yours in general, and you just straight up didn't, like, I was just straight up wrong in your eyes,
I would tell you why I did what I did, and I would listen to what you have to say. Because the odds are
I do that as well, but then I don't change my opinion. That's kind of my point.
No. But that's the issue. Is I would change my opinion. Because like you have to think about it this way. Like there's more players that are affected by your gameplay than just you, right?
You're not understanding the fundamental initial point of what I said. Is that you just do not agree with what I'm like. Let's say I'm telling you.
I don't have to agree with you though. Like that's what I'm saying is you could tell me something that I just don't agree with at all. And I would still sit there and listen to what you have to say and like try to understand your perspective.
Yeah, have I ever left a call out of a disagreement? I've never once left a call and said
that's not what I'm saying. But like saying okay and just not changing anything is objectively like the same thing, no?
Would you not do the same thing? Would you not okay, that's not you're not hearing what I'm saying. If let's say for instance, this is what I'm telling you. Say we're down more than 10% and there's a comeback earn on the left side and you have a free chance to grab it. And I say no, I think it's fundamentally a bad idea for us to grab the comeback earn. Renewal, don't do that again. And you're going to say, obviously that's, I'm using an extreme example for the point. You're going to be like, well, that's stupid. Or maybe to say it in a nicer way, but obviously that's wrong. You're going to disagree with that. How are you going to...
Yeah, but is there ever going to be something that's that much of a major disagreement? Like, genuinely?
But why does it have to be to that level?
Because at that level, it's a fundamental game issue. I'm talking about, like, pure macro, or, like, micro or macro issues, like, character-specific, because that's what you get mad about. Like, if someone tells me how to use a rescue beam, and they don't like the way that I'm using it versus them, I'll explain why I use it a certain way, And if they want me to use it a different way, when I'm playing with them, I'll use it a different way. It's not hard to do because a lot of times they're not wrong.
Let
I
me
feel like
let me
that's
say
the opposite
something.
of closed mind. You're just folding.
Yeah,
But what's the issue with that?
No, just real quick. So the issue, and this is one thing I will kind of chime in and say, when we talk about compromises, or when we talk about perspective building, right? Trying to build others' perspectives. The thing is that it's very important for us to try to steelman the other side and understand that they're coming from a good faith perspective. They are not coming from a perspective of ignorant, or in the sense of, in the guise of
Arrogance
like
and
they're
thinking you're terrible
yeah, of like
game.
they're not just like willy-nilly saying shit. They're not just they're actually articulating a problem. Now, whether or not the problem is of being addressed is the point that's being addressed or not is a different situation. So, for example, if let's go use the rescue beam example. If you're rescue beaming someone incorrectly, or like to them it's incorrect, then they're going to voice that concern to you, and it's up to you. The thing is that you need to understand that the reason why they're bringing it up is because there's a fundamental issue with how they feel, that the way that they want to play and the way that you're rescuing them aren't matching, right? You need to, it's your job as a person that knows how to play your character as a pocket, as a 7, that if someone gives you criticism, even if you know more than them, you should still take into account, as far as like, I want to understand why he's saying what he's saying. And I'm not saying this in the best light, I would admit. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% involved, or I'm not 100% there mentally right now for some reason. But I don't know, like you just
Like,
want to make.
Can I give you an example? Can I give you an example? The way that I use the rescue beam now wasn't taught to me by a support player. It was taught to me by a carry character, and I didn't agree with them at first. But like, when you understand someone's mindset behind what they're thinking, maybe it gives you a better idea. Like, even with the oh, don't grab urn here. There's a situation where maybe grabbing that urn is detrimental to the team. Like, I don't know. I'd never see something, because like, this is the way that I would view it. XRs, you're my teammate. I think you're equally as smart as me. I don't think that I'm more right about anything than you are more right about anything else, right?
Yeah.
So like, when I speak to you and you say something, I'm gonna completely like validate it as like it's a valid opinion. Even if I don't agree with it immediately, I'm going to still view it as a valid opinion. Because like, here's the thing. I can give you 2 examples. With some rescue beams, right? Most people use it one way, and I'll tell you how they use it. They hold down it the entire duration, but then you stun lock people out of being able to move, right? So some people might want that because they want the full heal. Other people just want to be able to move after they get like 75% of the heal. So like, if you're telling me, hey, when you rescue beam me, hold me for the full heal, I'll hold you for the full heal next time. I'll maybe tell you, oh, I normally don't do it because of this, this, and this, but I can actively implement that into my gameplay where, hey, if it's XRs, I'll full heal him, right?
But like,
if, like, that's my point, is like, if, like, for example, like, I'm playing a game with Cobbs right now. Cobbs made a dog shit comm. I'm not sitting here saying, wow, that was such a bad comm, I'll never do that again. You know what I did? I listened to the comm and did it. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with, like, an idea that he thinks is the right play mid-game, or even after the game, because I'm sure he knows after it was the wrong play to make, but I understand his mindset of making the play. And I think understanding his mindset of making the play that he wants to make is like objectively the most important part.
I got 2 things.
Not
I
like
got
he's
2
not
things.
thinking.
I understand all of that, but hold on, we're getting so off. Okay, we can just ignore what my original statement was if we want, but I just want to at least point out the fact that it was never really understood, in my opinion. But I guess whatever, we can move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna
Why
say.
do you think what you're saying wasn't understood?
Because my entire point was that if there's ever a scenario where you think you're right, and it's not something that you can like really change on, and Renewal's argument was always just, oh, I'll just change, or I'll just do it this differently this next time. That's the antithesis of my point.
Yeah.
What if it's something that what if it is something that you truly believe is correct? You're not going to just be like, okay, you're right to your teammates.
Let me respond with that. Let me respond. No, let me respond with that. The thing is that
that's not what I said remotely, but
I mean, I know. I know exactly XRs. I know. Yeah, I know what XRs is saying right there. Like, I'm not going to even try to explain it because I don't want us to get bogged down in it. But when it comes to XRs, to kind of properly respond to that point, as far as what you said about Renewal, about, bro, man, my mind, bro. It's
it's not even like him specifically. I'm just saying like in
no,
general,
yeah.
across,
It's just
like
like
anybody.
yeah. When it comes to playing in the oh my mind, what the fuck? Oh my god, what did you just say, X stars? Oh my god, can someone just remind me? I just lost my train of thought
I
again.
definitely like. Do I need to be here for this?
Fuck, bro, you're making me. Oh, I don't know what's with me right now mentally, man. I just am not there. But I was gonna say some good points, but I just let y'all go. I don't know. I just whatever. Move on. We'll just move on. It's too late now. But yeah, I think. Oh, but X-Stars, I did want to ask you a question. Do you feel like you can follow someone else's leadership on a team?
Mm-hmm.
You think you could, even if you disagree with like what's being said?
I mean, that's kind of my point. Is like, do you want me to say something or no?
Well, no. I'm talking about when I say leadership. I mean like if the for example, let's say Cobbs's play that he made with you as Mirage when he was Yamato on
Mm-hmm.
Walker. If he says he wants to do that, he says we need to do this, and you fundamentally disagree with it. Can you make that subservient decision of just saying, okay, like let's just like I'm gonna give leadership to Cobbs and let Cobbs like run the show. And if he wants me to play Mirage and play like he says like, okay, we're playing for a split push, and he wants to come help me out to expedite the Walker death, then let's just do it. Like, can you do that? Do you feel like in your heart of hearts
Fine.
you can do that? Okay.
Sure. I think it's. I don't know. Sure.
And do you feel like you don't? Do you feel like you don't express your opinions to us? Like, do you feel like you can't express your opinions to us about like if you disagree with something?
I think I can. I think it goes nowhere when I do.
Okay.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Do you is there ever been has there well I can name like two things that you brought up that we take into account and we've like adjusted for, but
I guess I should rephrase. Maybe it doesn't never go somewhere. I guess maybe I should. Maybe that's too.
that's fine. Yeah, and keep in mind like I like
full on like one side.
Yeah, it's not a absolute, bro. I really cannot think today right now. I'm just like actually fucked. But I need to go sleep. I haven't slept in like a while, but yeah, so I completely understand. Like, it's just that I want you to kind of think like that mindset of that mentality of, hey, if I'm like what you said, the renewal of like, oh, I'm folding if I do this. I don't want you to have that mindset. No one here should have that mindset of like, oh, I'm folding if I give up this point. To believe in this,
I don't think an individual point is folding. I think that if you're always changing how you play the second anybody tells you their side of the opinion, that's folding. It's folding if it's what you're always doing. It's not folding on an individual level.
I get that, and that's just and I think it's because Renewal is a support player. He has to play around his teammates, so like he fundamentally has to technically quote unquote fold, right? I think for you,
but that's the point. Is I don't play support. Renewal
yeah,
does.
yeah. I was about to say
if he says a point about how to play support, his opinion is more valid than mine. His opinions take preference over mine.
Sorry. I want to cut you off here. I literally just said that the main way that I play support and the main way that I use a support ability was from a carry character who gave me the idea of how to use it. Like, I don't have to play a role to tell you what's objectively right, because at the end of the day, I have to play around you, right? So if you're playing like a fucking idiot, I have to play around that. If you're playing really smart, I have to play around that.
Yeah, Renewal.
This kind of reminds me of like the abortion debate. You're not a woman. You can't possibly have an opinion on this. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
it's
guys,
it's in the same
that
it's
just
in the
sounds
same
stupid.
boat. Yeah, we just got to recognize that like even though like you don't play the character, we can still have particular opinions about it and criticisms about like how to.
You can't have opinion. I'm saying it's less valid. Like if me and a person has 1,000 games on Ivy, we're talking about how to play Ivy. Person with 1,000 games, me with 0, has a better opinion. Just straight up, like I think it's weird to pretend they don't.
Can I say something about that?
Go for it.
Just because someone has a better opinion on something because they have more experience, doesn't mean that the perspective of someone else is completely false.
Yeah,
right?
I don't. Never said it was.
Yeah.
But that's what you imply when you talk
No.
to
I'm saying it's better. Not like it's guaranteed. If me and and Cobbs and Shadow are all like, yeah, Renewal, you got to play support differently this way, then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe it's just Shadow got to play. He's got to play differently. But if it's me versus him, just straight up, and it's like he's more likely right than me.
Yeah.
What?
I'll kind of. Oh, I'll let Hisham have his final words, and I'll.
Can I leave the call? Like, is there anything else I need to be in here for?
Yes.
Because okay.
There's something else you have to be in here for. So.
So we've been here for like 2 hours. I feel like at this point we're kind of just like lollygagging.
Well, we're about to move on to the next. That's the kind of why I was saying final point. We're gonna move.
It's okay.
I mean, only half the
Doesn't
team's
matter.
even here at this point. We're missing Shadow and Miles.
We have Earn.
Yeah, they both left.
We have Rejuve.
Nice.
These guys are. Oh my god. So
Bro, no,
interesting.
I haven't been looking at the game at all, bro. I've just been hearing a bunch of yapping, so like I can't.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. I'm doing the same shit.
Where did Shadow and Miles go? We can still run
I mean, Miles
twos,
is gonna
though.
have to get sent the OBS
I
anyway.
think this has been a very good meeting, but I think I don't know like what else there is to discuss. But
Well,
I mean,
it's not
it's-
that I would kind of want us to kind of get some twos in, no? Or did y'all not want to? Yeah, I just want to keep playing hubs.
I think we can. I'll leave it up to them, to be honest. I don't think it's super necessary
think
for
it's
us
too
to
late.
run twos if they don't want to.
I am exhausted, so I would not take. I would take any chance to get the fuck off as possible.
We can reschedule.
I'm a
it,
hard
it's
worker
fine.
for you guys, bro. I'm gonna keep hard working until y'all guys say I can drop. Then I'll drop.
yeah, we all we appreciate what you and Maniac do. At least I do. So
Yeah,
But,
I'm
I don't
really
know that
tired.
2v2s right now is the best. It's the
Alright.
best thing to do. I'm tired
got
myself, so I don't know if I really want to like full try in 2v2s.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want to do
get you.
2v2s and not full try. So
Yeah, yep, I get you. Yeah, I'm in the
Yeah,
same
I mean,
boat.
if that's the
so.
case, then there's no point, right?
I am going to skedaddle now. I have this whole call recorded. I need to upload this. I'm gonna try to do it today.
upload it today.
Yep. I'm gonna upload it today, and yeah, we'll have that. All right, guys. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you, X Stars, for your opinion. I know, like, it kind of looked like I singled you out right there at the end, even though I asked for everyone's opinion, and then only X Stars gave his. So it's kind of
yeah,
like,
I didn't get to get my opinion, but whatever. all
yeah.
good.
I mean, like, I'm tired. So thank you, X Stars,
Yeah,
for
it's fair.
like kind of shishing that. I really wanted Cobbs to give his, but he's a cuck, so I don't think he was like listening.
What do you mean?
I asked for
wanted
your
everyone to
opinion on
You
something.
asked for our opinion?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
never responded. I sat there for
I
like
think this
30
meeting was
seconds.
great. I didn't have anything bad to say, so I mean,
Headed to yellow.
You're playing
Too many
Vindicta
glazes
with the
says it's
jiggle.
good.
I know. I don't want you to glaze. I just want you to. I just want to know that you guys are listening. That's the only reason I asked that. Like, right? Like, I just want to make sure you guys are listening. Like, I know.
I mean, it's about more
don't-
than that, but
Yeah, I
anyways,
don't-
keep going.
I don't think Shadowviz was listening. I don't think that Miles was listening. Oh, Miles just got here late. So
Miles barely showed up. Yeah,
Was Miles even here?
Yeah,
No,
he was here
Miles
for like
was
a
here
for
split
10
second.
minutes.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure you guys are listening, because it's like, if y'all aren't listening, I'll be honest. I'll be so
and what are we
honest.
putting in all this effort for, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say as a threat. I just want to say as a genuine fact. Like, if I figure out you aren't listening to these things, I'm hard
and we're
quitting.
wasting
Like,
our time.
hard
Yeah,
stop.
for,
I'm
like,
done.
straight up.
We
I'm
need to
so
discuss what you guys
so.
went over.
Huh?
Do you want it to be a proof of knowledge?
No.
No,
You have to
no,
make
no.
common sense. You have to make a Quizlet.
That's what I'm doing. I'm already making it right now. I literally have like 2 questions already made.
Wait, we should actually do that.
What is the positioning at 10-10? Is it 3-1-2? Is it 3-2-2? Is it we gotta
Wait, that's actually good.
No,
you gotta hit us with the quiz.
X-Stars, they're gonna-
Failing
Oh my
grade
God,
is
that's
sentenced
funny.
to 5 games of pub solo queue, and they have to
They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it, bro.
That's
Like, yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah, we'll do that. I mean, that actually sounds like a good like little prank. Like on the next like
Pop
meeting, I do a
quiz.
pop quiz. Yeah. All right, class, sit down. There, we got a pop quiz for you guys. You get 10 minutes to complete it. Failure to complete results in five games. You get subbed out. You get subbed. I get somebody else to take your place. I don't know.
So if I remember correctly, if I remember the rotations on the urn correctly, at 9 minutes we're going to start setting up for it, and we're going to leave 2 on green, 1 blue, 3 yellow, and then as we grab the urn, it's as we.
After
Let me
buffs.
think about that. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Mhm.
What's the next position our team's going to be in? Is it?
So then we hit the 4-1-1. So the person in blue, after they get boxes, rotates to yellow to go
Gotcha.
into
And
the
then one from green goes blue. Gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then once that happens, then once we grab urn, one person drops off a yellow, one person drops off to blue, and then the two that were on green and blue combine to go to posture for the urn to make sure that no one can really get a good positioning. And that's when the two people left from after the drop offs on yellow and blue, the two remaining people were gonna go to drop off urn.
Yep. Sounds
You weren't
good.
even fucking you weren't even fucking listening, bro. I have
No,
a pop
the
quiz for you right
the
here.
the only part I was confused about was the second rotation. I wasn't sure if we were gonna like have one that moves from yellow to stay there, but you kind of cleared that up. That was it.
Wait, I
You
just
should
realized
start punishing people that don't treat everybody with respect. You should like just start punishing them.
I don't know what to do though. Like I don't want to like the thing is that I get so emphatically angry because like I want to do something to make it to, but like I know I know some of you guys have the slightest egos that if I try to do any type of like actual like disciplinary actions of like, oh, you know, you got to do this or you got to do that, like you should be like, fuck this, I'm gonna just leave. Like
Yeah.
everyone here is like that. I think every single person except Cobbs, maybe Renewal, and that's it. Everyone else would just hardcore just be like, I mean, like, fuck you. No, Miles would say fuck you. I mean, yeah, if it's like disciplinary, like if it's like a bad, like a not fun thing, he's just like, nah. He might.
Want to do that.
He's like the only one that's probably on the fence, but like, yeah, everyone else is like hard. Like,
Esky was the first one to
I
do
know
that.
they might be though.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
I think Renewal and I are gonna go down a call if there's
Can you
nothing else
drag
that
me?
needs
Can
to be
someone drag me down?
discussed.
I got you. I'm dragging y'all. Do y'all want to go to your own, right?
Yeah.
This is a good meeting, but yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you, X Stars. Appreciate you, man. Evsky isn't even here, by the way. He's literally just like
no, he's not.
he's sitting in the
he's
call.
just in the call. He's not there.
I just want to make that note. I've known the whole time. All right, I'll see y'all. Hardcore. Bondage.